On this week's Parsha, we're on? Okay. One of the topics that we are discussing is the holiday of Shavous. So for two reasons, it would be a good topic for tonight's shir. What would the two reasons be, Shlomo? It's almost Shavous and this week's Parsha. So let's discuss Shavous. What we do? What we doing? Okay. So there are 5 Megilos. Can anybody name them?
Esther, Ruth,
Megilas. We missed one.
Those 5.
Right, and we said 4. So in higher mathematics, if there are 5, and we mentioned 4, we're missing. So the reason I did this is to make sure he's not the only landsman that I make fun of. I also make fun of the original founder of this year, none other than his older brother, Shlomo.
Younger brother.
Okay.
There you go.
Younger, older. No, there's one Megillah that we missed.
Why are you asking questions past 7 o'clock at night?
That's the way it works? The one that we missed is Shir Hashirim, Song of Songs.
Oh.
Which we read on
That doesn't count.
Pesach. 0 for 2 tonight, Shlomo. Maybe I'll look at this side of the room a little bit more, and we'll focus on that side a little bit more. Okay, so we read Ruth on Shavous. Why do we read Ruth on Shavous? There are thousands of reasons given. Before we get to a nice answer from Rabbi Shapiro, anybody have any answers? What's the connection between Ruth and Shavous? So the simple answer is Ruth was a convert. On Shavous, when we accept the Torah, Ruth accepted the Torah. So we renew our connection to the Torah every year. So we read Ruth, just like Ruth accepted the Torah, we accept the Torah every day, every year. Which reminds me of the famous pshat from the Kli Yakar, and everybody says it. The Torah puts together different holidays with different mitzvahs. Pesach goes together with Matzah goes together with Pesach. Sukkot goes together with Abba Minim and the Sukkah, and then it says the date of those Yom Tovim in the Torah. It does not say anywhere that Shavuos and Matan Torah go together. Why is it not together? We know that the Torah is given on Shavuos. What mitzvah, what concept does the Torah link together with Shavuos? Anybody?
What do you mean the giving of the Torah?
We know that.
Who doesn't know that?
If you learn the Bible from Texas, and you have Bible studies, you don't learn the Talmud, you just look in the Bible, you won't find any reference to the Torah being given on Shavuos. Can we think about that, Avram? The Torah discusses Shavuos in reference to Pesach. It's 7 weeks after Pesach. That's when you bring the korban omer. That was the answer I was looking for before. The Torah describes Shavuos, describes it as the holiday that's 7 weeks after Pesach, when the omer is brought. And the same all the other stuff about the Yom Tovim. You don't do work, the mitzvah to be happy, you have to make your children happy, your wife, everybody, and then the mitzvah of counting the omer and all that good stuff. But no mention of the Torah being linked together with Shavuos. Why is that? That's a whole shir for itself. But one of the famous standard answers for the Kli Yakar is that a person shouldn't think, oh, Shavuos, that's the holiday of the Torah. The rest of the year, other things to be busy with. No, the Torah is associated with every day of the year. So if the Torah would put Shavuos with the Torah, you would say, oh, there's a 2-day holiday when we study Torah. The rest of the year, other things. Follow the Trump campaign or whatever he's busy with. But no, the Torah does not put Shavuos with Matan Torah, because Matan Torah applies throughout the whole year. I'm sure you've heard this answer before. It's a pretty standard answer. Okay, not sure how that came about, but it was a nice word, right, Shlomo? Okay. The Torah is teaching us that Matan Torah is applicable throughout the whole year, not just for Shavuos. Okay. But why do we read Ruth on Shavous? So those are some of the very common answers. Another common answer the Megilas says is because it's not easy being a Jew, accepting upon yourself all these new commandments, leaving the religion of your family. And that's the way Torah is. Torah is not for the faint of heart. Following the ways of Torah is very difficult. So we read Ruth on Shavous to give us energy. Just like Ruth, it was hard for her, but she became not just a member of the Jewish people, but the mother of a royalty, the one that brought King David to life. So just like she could do it, we could do it also. Another reason given is because David HaMelech, King David, who came from Ruth, was born. He also passed away on Shavous. I don't know why, but tonight's like quiz night. I'm asking all these questions. What other very famous member of Jewish people mentioned in the Bible died and was born on the same day? Moshe Rabbeinu. That date would be 7th of Adar. 2 for 2 for 4. You're batting 500. If this is baseball, you'd be amazing. It'd be amazing. Okay? So I just brought that in, a little trivia question. So, two of the many tzaddikim that were born and died on the same day is David and Moshe. The Gemara Rosh Hashanah tells us that it's supposed to be a symbol that you're a great man. If a person dies on the same day he was born, you do the full cycle, that's supposed to be considered a siman, a sign that this man was a holy person. Okay, so since Megilas Ruth was written, one of the reasons written was to give the proper lineage of King David. There are people who are questioning King David's legitimacy, which we'll get to in a second. So the book of Ruth in Hebrew, which was written to show his legitimacy, we read that book on Shavous, which was the day he was born, also the day that the Torah is given, although not said in the Torah, as we explained earlier, right, Shmuel? Why the Torah does not say that the Torah was given on Shavous. We explained that before. A person shouldn't think that, these days are the Torah days, the rest of the day is nothing. No. We, members of the Kollel, know every day is a day for Torah. Hello. Every day is a day for Torah. So, that's why it doesn't link together Shavous and Matan Torah. Matzah is only on Pesach. Matzah doesn't apply the rest of the year. Torah applies the whole year, as is evident in a very nice showing here in our Monday night learning. Okay, so that's another reason why we read Ruth and Shavous. I'll say one more reason, and then we'll end the first section of the night. We have 42 minutes to go. I hope we can handle it. And the one guy's sleeping already. I have 42 minutes left. Okay. I explained before, and I said that I'm going to explain a little bit better, so I will fulfill my words. Person should, if they're going to say they're going to do something, they're supposed to do it, right? Okay. So, what was the controversy concerning King David? It's very simple. It says in the Torah that if you're a member of the nation of Moab, you cannot enter the Jewish people. A Jewish person cannot marry a member of the Moabite nation. That's not a question, that's an outright, undisputed fact. Now, the Talmud says that the problem is a Jewish woman cannot marry a Moabite man. But a Jewish man can marry a Moabite woman. What's the difference? So the Talmud, the Gemara, and Yevamos tells us that when it says L'yovo Moavi b'kol Hashem, you cannot marry a Moavi, which is in the masculine. The Gemara says Moavi v'lo Moavis, that the prohibition against marrying into that nation applies to the male members of that nation. The female members of that nation, there is no problem. Okay? People did not accept that ruling. And they felt that King David, who came from Ruth, was illegitimate. Because they didn't believe in the Torah Shabbat Peh. They didn't believe in the oral law. And they felt that since King David came from Ruth, and she was a member of the Moabite nation, all her descendants are no good. They didn't listen to the sages. Could be. That's another reason why we read Ruth on Shavous. It's to show the authenticity of the oral law of the Torah of the Talmud, the Gemara. Because if you don't have the oral law, Ruth, if you don't have the oral law, you're no good. You're not going to know what anything is. I'll give you some examples. It says in the Torah, you're supposed to bind them as a sign on your arm, and it should be phylacteries between your eyes. Pardon my expression. What the heck are phylacteries? Max, what the heck are totafos? Do you know what totafos are? We know, because the Gemara tells us what totafos are. The Talmud tells us what totafos are. It should be a sign. So what type of a sign should it be? I love Puerto Rico? I mean, bind it as a sign on your arm. What does that mean? You should have a bunch of hubcaps all over on your arm. Okay, I joke. You have to be a lot older than you guys. Okay, they have the Puerto Rican Day Parade. I don't know why I'm going off on Puerto Rico for some reason, but you should make a sign. What type of a sign are you supposed to put? We know because the Torah tells us what it is. Okay, I'll give you another example. On Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the year, not according to Mr. Seidel, but according to most people besides Mr. Seidel, the holiest day of the year, it says, he quotes the Zohar, so it's him and the Zohar. He has pretty good company. You know this shtick?
He's got his sources.
His father always says the Zohar, the Shabbos is the holiest day of the year, the Mori Tavi. That's for another time. Now, Yom Kippur, it says, nowhere in the Bible to fast on Yom Kippur. You won't find that anywhere. You know, the Yom Kippur trays that are available at 2 o'clock, right?
Where about the reform?
Yeah, you look at all these papers. Yom Kippur break the fast trays will be available after 2 o'clock. Okay? So, but it doesn't say in the Torah anywhere to fast. You know what it says? V'inisem es nafsho seicha. You should inflict your soul on Yom Kippur. If not for the Torah Shabbat Peh, for the oral law, okay, you would walk in to synagogue with your Puerto Rican flag on your arm, right? That's what it says, and walk around with shots, giving yourself shots. Afflict yourself on Yom Kippur. You'd have, remember Cindy from the last year? Yeah. Who was there last year? Cindy, the nurse. She'd walk around in the shul giving shots to everybody. You're supposed to afflict yourself on Yom Kippur. Now, I don't know about other synagogues. In this synagogue, you don't find anybody with the flags afflicting yourself on Yom Kippur. I don't know what they do in Orchaim, but okay, I don't think so, right? So, as was said once in the back room, in a different context, go back to Orchaim. Okay, that joke was for
Who said that? I think I know.
a very special young man that hails from Philadelphia. It's an inside joke, not to be explained now. But enough about Orchaim. I'm in a funny mood tonight. Okay, so the authenticity of the Torah Shabbat Peh. If not for the Torah Shabbat Peh, we would not know how to do lots of mitzvahs. We would not know what tefillin are. We would not know how you're supposed to spend Yom Kippur. A lot of the drushos, Chazal, you don't know what they mean. You can't cook a kid in its mother's milk. Okay, I won't cook a kid in its mother's milk. Leave me alone. I wasn't planning on doing that anyhow. Without the Torah, I would have been planning on doing that. We know from the Torah what it means. We have separate meat and milk and all, leche and carne, other sides of the room. Okay? Always helps to know some basic Spanish words. We can do that another time, right? Okay. Welcome, Dan. Welcome, Dan. How about a seat next to the teacher? Yeah. What do we say? Oh,
There's a good cheer going on at Yehudi too.
very nice. Okay, so we're discussing the authenticity of the oral law, the Torah Shabbat Peh. So one of the reasons why we read Ruth on Shavous is because a major aspect of Shavous, okay? David HaMelech, King David, was born on Shavous, passed away on Shavous. And his whole life, the reason why he became King David, and the Mashiach, the Savior, will come out of King David, which if it came out of Ruth, is because of the Torah Shabbat Peh. If not for the oral law, we would not we would not have David be a leader, because he came from a woman of Moab, which in the Torah it says you cannot marry a woman of Moab. We know that it means only the male. A Jewish woman cannot marry a male member of the Moabite family, but a Jewish man can marry a Moabite woman. So therefore, King David's legitimacy was proven by the book of Ruth, because that's what it does. The book shows the authenticity of the Torah Sheba'al Peh. So that's why we read Ruth on Shavous, because contrary to popular belief, on Mount Sinai we received the oral law and also the written law. I'm sorry, everybody knows that we got the written law. We got the oral law as well. So to highlight this fact that the oral law was also given on Sinai, we read Ruth on Shavous to highlight this fact, the authenticity and the chashivas, the importance of the oral law. Because without the oral law, pardon the expression, it might be a little bit strong, but I'll say it anyhow, the written law would be meaningless. It would be like your book in Chinese if you don't read Chinese. Okay? Without the fried rice, it would be no good. If you speak Chinese, you like fried rice, it would be wonderful. If you're Americans like us, you don't know why everything is fried rice related. Every single thing, and fried rice, right? Every time, why? It's a whole section fried rice. Yeah. If you're not one of those people like I am, then it would not be useful. That's why we have the Torah Sheba'al Peh, to make the Torah Shebeksav useful. What a great lesson we learned from Shavous, from reading Ruth on Shavous, is that the authenticity and the importance of the Torah Sheba'al Peh.